Like, I can't get my tall bun in the, I can't get all of my face and my bun in the camera. So, doesn't it look kind of cool though? Okay, sorry. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're starting another reading vlog. So this reading vlog is just a weekend reading vlog. I'm gonna see how much I can get read from Friday through Sunday. And this is kind of an exciting one for me because I am following one of my favorite booktubers' suggestions for swoon-worthy heroes. I'm so excited. So Jenn from the Book Refuge is one of my favorite booktube channels. She has the best recommendations. She has a ton of excellent content, perfect for binging. She's so nice and so friendly, and she's just so great. But the thing that I really like about her videos and I feel like she and I have really similar reading tastes too, but I really like how broadly that she reads. And I feel like a lot of times, I'm gonna rant about this again for a minute. I feel like a lot of times people have the misconception, not in the romance community, they have the misconception that romance readers aren't very intelligent or that they don't read broadly, and I am here to tell you that if you spend any amount of time on Jenn's channel watching her videos and watching her dissect these books and the characters and everything, like, you will quickly realize that she is a very intelligent woman. Her breakdown of these books is 100% on point. She gives very thoughtful reviews, and I just love her content so much. So I found one of her videos from, I think it was in April of this year. I'll link it down below so you can go check it out. And it was swoon-worthy hero recommendations. And if you have watched any of my videos, you probably know that I really like swoon-worthy heroes, and I was instantly drawn to that, and I thought it would be really fun to read those books and see what I thought of them too. So let me read you Jenn's description on her YouTube video for what she considers to be a swoon-worthy hero, because I thought it was really a great way to pinpoint that other than to just say swoony, which is sometimes what I do. So she says, I am a sucker for a swoon-worthy hero, not just a sexy man, not just pretty words, not just a confident presentation, but all the good stuff wrapped up together. I want 3 things from my leading men: honor, respect for their love interest, hotness. And I loved that so much. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. So this is a very exciting reading vlog for me. So I watched the video and I took down notes for the books that I was interested in, and surprisingly there was really only one book that I had read from that video, and that was, of course, A Court of Mist and Fury, Rhysand. So that one's out. So I picked 4 books, and I know for sure I'm gonna get 2 of these read. I would like to get more read, we'll see. But I picked 4. So the book that actually made me want to do this video was Mine Till Midnight that she talked about. There we go. So she talked about Mine Till Midnight by Lisa Kleypas, and the way that she described the romance in here, and particularly the leading man, just, oh my gosh, it had me swooning, and just like I had to stop what I was doing and go get this book because I want to read it right this second. So this is about Amelia Hathaway, whose family gets an unexpected inheritance, and it elevates her family in the aristocracy. And the love interest's name is Cam, who is tall, dark, and dangerously handsome. Wealthy beyond most men's dreams, he is tired of society's petty restrictions and longs to return to his uncivilized gypsy roots. When the delectable Amelia appeals to him for help, he intends to offer only friendship, but intentions are no match for the desire that blindsides them both. But can a man who spurns tradition be tempted into that most time-honored arrangement, marriage? I'm very excited about this. I honestly feel like I'm so excited about this. I feel like every single book that I picked, I'm going to love, but this one especially, because Lisa Kleypas. So I'm going to read this one. And another book that she mentioned that I have been wanting to read, I've heard several other people mention this book before, and I watched another video of Jenn's where she talked about this too, and that is Redeeming Love. And I think the only thing that I really know about this, I think it's basically like a Pretty Woman type of story. Like, she's a prostitute and he, okay, I'll read you a little bit. Angel is a prostitute. She expects nothing from men but betrayal. She survives by keeping her hatred alive, and what she hates most are the men who use her, leaving her empty and dead inside. Then she meets Michael Hosea, a man who seeks his Heavenly Father's heart in everything. Michael obeys God's call to marry Angel and to love her unconditionally. Slowly, day by day, he defies Angel's every bitter expectation until, despite her resistance, her frozen heart begins to thaw. So, I am very excited about this. Honestly, just reading that wouldn't make me excited about it, and the cover is not particularly exciting. But the way I've heard Jenn especially talk about this book has me just dying to read this. I just have a feeling I'm going to love this. And the other books are... This book is on Kindle Unlimited, and it's called Lev. And this book is basically about Lev Lyakov spots the young woman hiding behind her hair in the middle of the gentleman's club. She is caught stealing a wallet, and Lev offers her an ultimatum: a nice warm bed, a hot meal, and a job, or the cops. Mina takes her chances with Lev. So, that's pretty much all I know about this. I don't know too much about most of them, other than I have heard the most about the other two. But just knowing that Jenn recommends them for their swoon-worthy heroes has me ready to try them. The other book that I have is on Audible Escape, and it is Hot House Flower. Hot House Flower by Krista and Becca Ritchie. And again, the only thing I know about this is that there's a forbidden aspect to this. It's age gap, I believe. The older man, younger woman, and swoon-worthy hero. I don't know much else about it. This book is about 25-year-old Reich Meadows. Knows he's hard to love, $1 billion inheritance, track star resume, alpha male personality. He receives a distressed call from a girl in Paris, a girl that he has never been allowed to have, who is 18. I know that they met earlier when she was, I think, 15, and he was 22. But nothing happened, nothing inappropriate happened. But now that they're both of age, something's gonna happen. So, those are the books I want to read. I am very, very excited about this. I trust Jenn. I know I'm gonna have a weekend of swoony hero reads. I am very excited about this. So, I'll check in with you when I've made some progress with these books. Okay, first update. So, I started reading Lev last night. Who's the author of this? By Belle Aurora. I started reading that on Kindle last night. It's on Kindle Unlimited. And I was instantly sucked into this story. Like, I started reading it and it was kind of late. It was like 10, which is late for me because I'm old. Anyway, it was like 10 when I started reading it, and I honestly got sucked into this right away. I really, really love this author's writing style. This is an indie author too. She just really has a way of just getting you right into the moment and getting you invested in these characters, and oh, I'm really, really liking it. I'm 20% in, which isn't a lot, but I just read it for a few hours last night and then haven't had a chance to read. I've been dying for work to finish so I can get back to reading this. It's not on Audible Escape, and sadly that is going away. So and honestly, I've been kind of struggling with ebooks lately. I'll talk about that in a minute. But, so yeah, I'm super, super loving this. So this is about Lev and, oh my heck, what's her name? Mina. So this is about Lev and Mina. Mina is living on the streets, and she ends up meeting Lev in this, like, gentleman's club, and she literally has no money, has no home, has nothing. She's starving. She's, like, starting to look emaciated. And so she sees a wallet hanging out of a man's pocket, and she finally decides that this is it. She has to survive, so she tries to steal the wallet and get the money. And Lev ends up catching her, and he takes her home to his house and takes care of her and offers her a job instead of turning her into the police. And it's so good. I love it so much. Like, already I can see the swoon-worthiness of Lev because he's very protective. He's very noble. He gives her a chance, and it's just like, I have a feeling I'm going to love this, so I'm very excited about this. Like, I've been thinking about it all day, tried to get my work done early so I could start reading it, which didn't happen, but now I have the weekend, so I'm excited to read. So, that is so far an A+, very much enjoying it. There's a lot of, there isn't really much of a romance yet, but you can see there's sparks of attraction and interest between them, and I really like that. Like, I would prefer that to always be how my romances start, like attraction, intrigue with personalities, connection, you know, like that's what I want to see. So that brings me to the second book. So I started reading Hot House Flower by Becca and Krista Ritchie. And I always say that, Becky and Christy. Anyway, I started listening to that on Audible. That was on Audible Escape. And I have kind of found that that author duo is sort of a hit and miss for me. Like, Amor, their book about the circus. I loved that book so much. I loved it so much. But the sequel to that, Infamy, I really didn't like that much. I felt like the romantic connection between that couple was lacking, and it was more physical attraction, and I definitely prefer there to be an equal blend. Like, I want there to be that soul level emotional connection and the super hot physical attraction. You know, I need both for me to be satisfied. I do not like books that are purely based on that attraction, which I've talked about at length. And so that is sort of how I feel like this book is. And I think that the main reason that is because this isn't the first in a series. This is their story coming together as a couple, but you see them in earlier books sort of having interactions throughout the years. And so I wasn't really feeling it. I felt like it was just too heavy on the physical for my taste, and I felt like I didn't have that knowledge of their relationship in the past. It felt like I stepped into this story halfway through. Starting at this book, this is a series, it definitely feels like you're missing that part of the relationship. Like, you just step in, right? And you don't have that chance to see them have that connection. So I was looking at the details of this book, and the author's recommendation, read this in a series, you know, don't just step into this one, read this in a series. So as soon as I saw that, I kind of thought, you know, I'm just going to stop reading this and look into picking up the other books in the series, just because I really felt like I was missing that connection that they had formed in previous books. I'm going to DNF that one, come back to that series later. I do like the connection between the couple, but I just feel like I'm not getting a lot of a sense of the characters, and especially their history and their background, and I feel like in order for me to give this book a fair rating, I need that information. So I'm gonna put a pin in that one, come back to that one later. So that's what's happening so far. I am loving Lev so much, and I'm excited to finish it. So I will let you know how it goes. I hope to pick up next Mine Till Midnight by Lisa Kleypas. That's all that's happening now. I'll update you later. Alright, so I finished Lev last night, and I really, really enjoyed this. I always finish books at night, and I wish I could turn my camera on then and talk about it, because everything is so fresh and all the feelings are just so real. But I really enjoyed this book. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked the whole story. It was very engaging. It was just so good. The only reason I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars is just because I feel like there were some things with the plot that were wrapped up a little too quickly. But this isn't a video about plots. This is about, are these swoon-worthy heroes? So how do I rate Lev as far as a swoon-worthy hero goes on a scale of 1 to 5? I give him a 5 out of 5 for swoony heroes. I think he is 100% a swoon-worthy hero, and I really, really loved his, like, he's very alpha, but not in, like, he's very alpha, and he wants to take care of Mina, and he's so, like, vulnerable with her. Like, you can see that he has this vulnerable side that he only kind of shows to her, and she's kind of the one who's breaking that vulnerability open. And it's so, like I said before, it's one of my favorite things to see these strong alpha heroes just sort of turn into a soft little biscuit for their woman and make, you know, allowances and concessions for things that they would never do before just for her. It's just one of my favorite things. So this was definitely a hit. This was absolutely Lev is a very swoon-worthy hero. Like, he's just so good. He's one of my favorite heroes I've read this year. Very, very good. I really, really liked it. It seems like, just from reading it, it's never mentioned on page, but it appears that he may be on the spectrum somewhat. I know there are some discussions that they have where he doesn't know if he can love, or he doesn't know how that feels like, and that was really a beautiful conversation, and seeing him finally say that he loves her was just so beautiful. And oh, it was great. I really liked it. I think he is for sure a swoon-worthy hero. He has all of the characteristics that Jenn wants in a swoon-worthy hero, and that I think I should adapt as my standard as well, because he was just perfect. So that was a great read. I really, really liked it. And I can see that this is part of a series, and you can see that sort of set up in here, like with the side characters to have their own relationships. So I'm really interested to read that, because it seems like those would be very interesting too. So I really liked this. This was a very bingeable book. It was very just romantic and sweet, but it was also very steamy, and it really had a lot of those familiar tropes that we see. Like, this was published in 2015, and it has the millionaire hero with the, very poor, she's homeless girl kind of trope, but I feel like it worked really well in this one. I really liked their relationship together, and I just felt like they worked out great together, and I loved seeing him take care of Mina. It was just beautiful. It was a really, really good one. It was a good one. I liked it a lot. So, the next book I am reading, I picked this up last night after I finished Lev, Mine Till Midnight by Lisa Kleypas. I am 60 pages in, and I tell you one thing, I definitely feel like I prefer historical romance. I am quickly seeing that as becoming apparent that is, and maybe y'all are like, yeah, of course, duh, but I've always kind of felt like paranormal romance is my favorite genre, and then, like, contemporary romance, and then historical romance. But I don't know what it is about this year where it just feels like such a wonderful escape, and just such... I just love it so much. I just love it. So historical romance is absolutely my jam. Duh. And just opening this up and reading the first few pages, it made me just feel like I came home. Like, that's how much I love these books. It was just instant calm and serenity, It was so good. So this book is about Amelia Hathaway. So this book is about Amelia Hathaway. Her family just recently her brother inherited a large sum of money, which kind of rose them up in the aristocracy. And this opens up with her going to find her brother, who has taken to going to clubs and brothels at night and getting drunk. So she goes to find him to rescue him. And on her way to find him, she meets Cam, who helps her find her brother. And Cam is a Romany person. The thing that I really, really like about their first meeting is that, like, Lisa Kleypas does this so well. Again, she's got the little subtle gestures, little hand holding, little touching, and she describes, like, the chemistry between them, and it just works for me. It works for me so good. But there's a lot of inner dialogue. We have Cam's perspective in this too. There's a lot of inner dialogue from Cam about how he is so surprised at the intensity of his feelings just upon seeing her. And he recognizes that it's not purely attraction, that it's something else, that he's just very taken with her. And I really, really love that. Like, that's when I talk a lot about I don't like just physical attraction, I feel like I'm not articulating that very well, because it's really not about the physical attraction. It's about them focusing on the beauty or the hotness as a reason for love. And so I feel like she does a really good job of exploring how Cam's feelings for Amelia right off the bat aren't purely attraction. It's some draw. He feels drawn to her. He just feels like he can't stop watching her. There's something about her that just connects with him, and that is what I'm always looking for. And so when I talk about anything like that, I want to know, like, because there is that moment when you meet that someone. So I've been married for 20 years, and I can remember looking back on when I met my husband, that first meeting, and just feeling that there is something about this man. There is something, and of course he's hot, my husband is hot, but there's something about this man that draws me to him, that attracts me to him, that intrigues me about him, that I can't look away from. I feel this pull, this draw to him. That's the feeling I'm always trying to find in my romance novels again, is that I want to see how they explore that. I want to see how they describe that, because that is the thing that can be a catalyst for love, is that it can't just be about this hot person, It should have a lot that. I just said my husband is hot. But it needs to be like I want it to have the levels. Okay, I talk about this all the time. What I'm trying to say is that Lisa does that so well with their first meeting, especially with Cam. Like, there's this mystery, there's this intrigue, there's something above just this beautiful person that they're very interested in, and I like that a whole lot. So I'm super into this. I think I'm going to finish this today, and then I'll come back and let you know. But already I would say that he is definitely, for sure, a swoon-worthy hero. Alright. I finished Mine Till Midnight last night. Oh, this book was amazing. This was so good, you guys. I know that this is a really well-loved Lisa Kleypas book, and a lot of people say this is their favorite, and I can 100% see why, because it was honestly pretty much perfect. I loved this book so, so much. It was so... Oh, it was so good. It was so romantic. It was just wonderful, honestly. I don't really even know what else to say. Like, how much can I gush? It was just so good. Like, I really loved... So, I give this a 5 out of 5 stars overall, and I give Cam, the hero, as far as swoon-worthy hero status, I give him a 5 too. I loved seeing how devoted he was to her, and how protective and even possessive. I really, really liked that. I just loved it. I thought it was so just perfect. I thought their love story was beautiful. I thought the whole overarching plot of this was beautiful. I really love how Lisa Kleypas creates such an atmosphere that makes you really feel like you're in that time and in that world. And I love the side characters. I know this is the first book in the Hathaway series, so now I'm super excited to keep going. I honestly want to pick up the second book like right now and just read it. But I probably won't because I have other things to read, but I just loved it. It was so, so good. So as far as I know, one of Jenn's requirements for him to be a swoon-worthy hero was that he was loyal, and he was absolutely 100% loyal, and I loved that so, so much. And I loved how, yeah, just protective. I love the way their relationship worked. I do find myself getting a little irritated at times, not enough to like make me not love the book, a little bit irritated at times with the heroine's resistance to the hero. Like, I don't know. Like, I find myself getting real irritated with that lately, because I'm just like, come on, you know he's perfect for you. You like him, so why aren't you with him? So, yeah. But that wasn't anything major. That was just a little thing that I'm just like, come on now, you know? So, yeah, this one was a hit. I totally loved it. It was absolutely, definitely a swoon-worthy hero. A beautiful, just perfect love story. I loved this. It was amazing. It's perfect. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to read is My Redeeming Love, or Our Redeeming Love, or I don't know. You'll see in the next clip. Hello, my friends. It has been a while since I have seen you for this vlog. It's been like 2 seconds since... Whoa. I know it's only been like 2 seconds since you've seen me, but I haven't worked on this reading vlog for about a week because I did the Kindle Clear Out readathon, so that was just Kindle books and Audible Escape books. So anyway, here we are. We're back for the last book in Reading Swoon-Worthy Heroes, recommended by Jenn from the Book Refuge. So the book I'm reading right now is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I am about 130 pages into it, and I'm liking the book so far. There's a big chunk in the beginning, so let me just summarize it for you again. So this book is basically about a woman who is a prostitute and a man, Michael Hosea, who has been told by God to marry her, to take her for a wife, and it's a retelling of the story of Hosea in the Bible, which I'm not super familiar with, so I don't know how accurate that is. But I feel like so my first impressions on reading this book, that's what this clip was supposed to be about, was me giving you my first impressions, is I feel like this book is written really well. It's very slow moving at this point, but it's not like in a bad way. Like it's slow moving, nothing as in like I don't have much to tell you about what's happened, but there has been a lot of character, not growth, but what's the word? Like, you're learning a lot about the characters and who they are and, you know, stuff like that. So I feel like it's an engaging read. Like, I'm enjoying reading it a lot. It's not a fast-paced read, which, I mean, I kind of figured it wouldn't be. Also, I'm sorry if you hear a lot of banging. There's a ton of construction and yard work happening. And I waited all day to do this clip because it was so freaking loud. But I couldn't wait anymore, so. But as far as the question goes, and at this point, do I feel like Michael is a swoon-worthy hero? And I think that, yes. Like, I know I'm sort of barely in this. This is like 460 pages or something like that. And I haven't really seen a lot of interaction at this point between, so the woman's name is Angel. I haven't seen a lot of interaction between her and Michael, but he has gone to great lengths to get her out of the, what do you call it? A brothel? I don't know. I was going to say, what do you call a prostitute house? Like, I don't know what you call that. Or it just left my brain. But he has gone to, he's very tenacious to get her out of there. Like, he kept going back and trying to talk to her to get her to leave and come with him. And her story is really very sad. Like, the beginning has a big chunk of her childhood and how she became, like, what led her to become a prostitute, and it's really pretty heartbreaking. So it's watching Michael, you know, be a savior for her and reach out to her is just wonderful. At this point, there really aren't feelings either way, other than Michael is very attracted to her because Angel is very beautiful, and, you know, she was one of the best-selling prostitutes. I don't know how to talk about this, you guys. I'm sorry if I'm saying everything wrong. Anyway, all the men wanted her, so she's a great beauty. But he's very tender with her and very kind, but she notices that he's very attractive too, which honestly, like, I gotta admit, that surprised me just because I think I don't know if he's a pastor or if he's just, it says he's a man who seeks his father's heart in everything. So I guess I kind of was assuming that he would be like a portly 50-year-old, I don't know, like, that's bad, isn't it? Like, I stereotyped him that badly. I was expecting him to not be attractive, but from the way that Angel describes him, he's, you know, tall, muscular, strapping, attractive man, and so that's good. It's interesting to see that they both have an attraction to each other, and so yeah, I think we're just starting to get to the point where we're going to see a relationship evolve, and I honestly am really excited for a soft, sweet, lovely romance. So I'm excited about this. I think that the tenacity that Michael showed in trying to get his woman was very swoon-worthy. I liked that very much. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I will update you when I have more to share. So I'm excited. Also, I have these candies because gummy peach rings are the best candy, are they not? I love them. This is my reading stack. I'm actually still working. I have an hour left of work. And then I will get to read some more. Okay. Hi friends. We have come to the end of this reading vlog. I just finished Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. 3 out of 5 stars. I feel very conflicted about rating this because I feel like it has a really wonderful message that God will always welcome you home and that you've never fallen low enough to not be touched by his love, you know? She's a Christian author, and so that, I feel like that's a really wonderful message to have, that, you know, God loves all of his children no matter what they do. And we have Angel in here who was basically sold into prostitution at the age of 8. And it's really, really heartbreaking, honestly. Like, her story is so sad. There was a lot of this book was just really sad, and just, it was sad because of what happened to Angel, and it was sad to see the effects of that play out in her relationship with Michael, and to see the effects of the choices she made because of what happened to her as a child that really set her up for just a really sad, miserable life, you know? And so the overall message at the end of, you know, when her and Michael get together in the end, it's very symbolic of her and God welcoming her home and always loving her, you know? So I feel like that is a wonderful message, and I really love that. As far as my enjoyment of the story goes, it was a 3. I really loved the relationship between Michael and Angel. I felt like he is definitely a swoon-worthy hero, as in he's very loving and he's very patient and he's very forgiving and he is very loyal to Angel, you know, and seeing his love for her was powerful and beautiful, and I really, really liked that. But the story, the book as itself, is really slow to get through. It's a very quietly moving book where you're just following her life, you know, and I definitely feel like some passages were a little too long, a little too wordy. So I know when I rate a book and I talk about technical issues, the reason I talk about the technical issues about being overly wordy or, you know, info dumping is because those things will pull me out of the story, you know? A really great writer who is masterful at all of those things, you don't notice world building, you don't notice how many words or descriptions they use, you are so caught up in the story because they've mastered those things. So I feel like I do include those in my ratings because if those aren't done right, they're doing construction outside my house, I'm sorry, I've been waiting all day for them to stop. If those things aren't done right, then it's not going to be an enjoyable read. And that's not me being critical of their craft as a writer. That's me recognizing that those tools that writers use are integral to creating good stories, you know? So I definitely feel like this was a bit of a slow read. This is a subject that is very dear to my heart. The idea that Heavenly Father, God, loves all of his children and that we can all return to him, and that he loves us no matter what we do, right? That's a powerful message, and that is something I believe in strongly. It's a very loyal relationship on Michael's side. Michael is super loyal to her, and she's really struggling to overcome all of the garbage that's happened in her life, you know? Let's rank them, shall we? Okay, so we read Mine Till Midnight, we read Lev, and we read Redeeming Love. As far as swoon-worthy heroes go, I think my absolute favorite is definitely Cam from Mine Till Midnight. He was fantastic. I love that book. He was everything I wanted in a hero. He was loyal, he was passionate, he was, you know, determined to get his woman, and he was just perfect, and I liked him a lot. And Lev was very much the same, very powerful alpha, protecting his woman, taking care of her, and, you know, really being fierce about his love for her. Definitely swoon-worthy hero. Those two were top-notch. Michael was a very different hero. His love for Angel was strong and it was powerful, but it was expressed in this book a little quieter. You know, it didn't have the same draw that we would feel in a typical romance, and I don't think that's bad at all. It just didn't hit me quite the same as the other ones did. So he would be third on my list of swoon-worthy heroes, but I still think that he was a wonderfully swoon-worthy hero, and I think that if any woman has a real-life Michael, like, they have a wonderful, wonderful partner, you know? So yeah, this was a really good experience. This was a really neat reading vlog experience to take a specific attribute in these books to see if these heroes were swoon-worthy and then to apply it. And I feel like this has really made me more aware of what I like in heroes and what appeals to me in a romantic hero and why I want the heroine to be with him. Like, that made it very clear to me this time. Like, I feel like Angel and Michael were perfect together. They were a perfect couple. They were made for each other. They were meant to be. Their love story was so heartbreaking and hopeful, you know, and I did love that a lot. And then when I think of the other heroes, like and heroines, they were perfect matches too. They were made for each other, and that, I think, is something else that makes a swoon-worthy hero for me, is that if I feel like they are made for that woman, you know, I just love that. So yeah, that is the end of this reading vlog. I had a great time reading Jenn's picks. They were all enjoyable reads. She has great, wonderful taste in romance books, and particularly swoon-worthy heroes, so this was a very fun experiment and I really liked it a lot. So let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and if you agree, if you feel like they are swoon-worthy heroes or not. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in my next video.